And this is a scheme which is supported by Ministry of Electronics and IT and implemented by C-DAC. More important is that today there are officers from Department of Telecommunications and Ministry of Electronics also participating. In addition, we have academia, startup, and industry. We have the speaker, Mr. Parimal Khade, Joint Director and in charge of IP in C-DAC. And more important will be that he will be walk through the various initiatives under the C-DAC for IP. And we have another Miss Saranya, and she is the actual person. She will walk through the various aspects of IP from product to commercialization. I welcome these two speakers, and with this, I welcome my chairman, Professor David Goel Pillai, and invite Sir for Sir's opening remarks. I'm just giving you the rights. Sir's opening remarks. I'm just giving you the rights. So we let us welcome even Dr. Brajesh Misra has joined, so he will be the moderator of today's session. Let us welcome even Dr. Brajesh Misra has joined, so he will be.
Good morning,
sir,
everyone.
Over to Chairman. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to join Mr. Pathak in extending a very warm welcome to each of you to this important webinar. Also, like to extend a word of special welcome to the speakers, Mr. Khade and Ms. Saranya. I would like to give you a brief snapshot of what Bharat 6G Alliance is and what we are currently engaged in case you are not familiar with that. Bharat 6G Alliance was started in July 2023 to fulfill the 6G vision of the country. So to enable India to be a global 6G player and also to have 6G deployments by the year 2030. We have about 87 members constituting 7 working groups. The names of the working groups are given on the right-hand side. And we have members from corporate, we have affiliate, membership, associate, experts, and guest members there. And we are closely working in terms of standardization in 3GPP and ITU. And one of the areas that we focus on is intellectual property, and that's the reason for today's presentation. So broadly, if I were to describe the role of Bharat 6G Alliance, we are contributing to the 6G roadmap and vision, looking at how we can align the national efforts. Very important. Second bullet, what do we do in terms of standards and intellectual property contributions from the Indian ecosystem? Develop the R&D activities and the test beds, and also give inputs to the government on policy and support. These are some of the areas that we have identified which are currently active in the standardization and in terms of R&D work within the country. Again, number of topics are listed here. On the left, you see the R&D topics. On the right-hand side, some of the 6G ecosystem which is developing within the country. And again, we are strongly supporting both the R&D and the component ecosystem so that India will become a strong player in this area. Again, our goal is to encourage and foster the activities in R&D and development, but also keeping an eye on what could be intellectual property that would be beneficial for the country. So today's 6G landscape, there are a number of activities that are going on that have initiated already and are in the process of being initiated. We have a number of projects under TTDF and of DOT, which is titled Accelerated Research for 6G Ecosystem. We have an initiative from the MeitY. Also, ANRF is planning a 6G program, and a number of additional projects are being identified for TTDF. And in particular, I would like to highlight the 6G testbeds, pre-standard and national 6G testbed, which will give us opportunities to develop the ecosystem and also to file IPR. So that brings me to today's presentation. we often get a number of questions, particularly from academic institutions, asking, what is patentable? When do I file a patent? Can I also publish a paper? Several things. Just want to say that we do have a wonderful ecosystem to mentor and support anyone who has questions. And again, today you're going to hear two expert speakers who are going to tell us a lot about the support that you will get. And also would like to mention that Bharat 6G Alliance is a facilitator, and any questions that you have, you can always direct it towards us so that we can support you. So with that, let me hand it back to Mr. Pathak, and also say a special word of welcome to our speakers, Mr. Khade and Ms. Saranya. Welcome, and over to you, Mr. Pathak.
Thank you, sir. And now I request Dr. Brajesh Misra, who is the moderator, to say, and by that time I will be giving the presenter's right to Parimal ji. Mr. Brajesh, Dr. Brajesh Misra, scientist ji, and he is front-ending from C-DAC. Brajesh, can you please?
Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, very much.
So, sir, I'm very happy that you have organized another meeting, another lecture on IPR and SEP standards related issues. This is very much by the startup, academia, and domestic industry. As you have mentioned in your speech, that C-DAC was assigned to play a front-ending role in strengthening the IPR ecosystem in India, and we have been doing it consistently. Although I will confess that we can do much more. We could have done much more, but somewhere I think we need much more participation. So I think the way this might have been experienced even in case of Bharat 6G Alliance, where we are witnessing participation, but that participation is not encouraging enough. So participation in meeting and conference review meeting is one thing, but working on the outcomes of those conferences and those discussions is something which is still desired, and is the area where we need to improve. So same thing applies to IPR front ending also. I have found that this IPR ecosystem can be strengthened in our country only if we have our research aligned with the standards. That is very important, and this is one part which we are missing right now, and we have to work on it. And C-DAC is trying to play an important role in this area. We are interacting with our TTDF and CCRP beneficiaries, and trying to encourage them file more patents and participate in standardization platform. I think even DOT is working on these areas, try to give some funding support or in-kind support to our startup and academia ecosystem. Thank you, sir. That's all from my side. I'm eagerly waiting to listen to our experts today, who are renowned, and I think we all will be benefited from their insights, which they have coming from their experience of working in these areas. Thank you, sir.
So thank you and welcome. It's now back to Parimal ji. I think now your presentation and take your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, all. First of all, thank you, Kolipillai sir, Pathak ji, who is basically from long time we have been associated. Mohan Ram sir, with whom I got an opportunity to work with in the past. Brijesh ji, Asta Sharma ma'am, thank you very much for inviting us, and we are very much happy and obliged to be a part of um, your activity, and would like to basically throw some lights on the various facets of IP and what exactly and how we can help the innovators, the startups, the MSME, and even the research organization to reach their goal. So before getting into that, let's take a little step back again. My screens are visible, right?
Very much.
Hello. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Visible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So this is a typical your innovation cycle. I mean, you start with identifying a problem statement. If you are a startup, you start with the validating of your problem statement. You either validate from technology point of view, or you either validate from the market point of view. You generally see whether invention or innovation which you are trying to work on, whether it has a novelty into that, or it has a acceptance from the market, whether you can actually reach to the market, you can solve someone's problem, some societal problem, city problem, or nation problem which you want to undertake it. So you always start with at a zero stage, that is TRL zero, where you look at the existing technologies, you can look at, study those, find out how better you can do it. For that, maybe you go to the research papers from the scientific organization. The startup may look at the problem statement from the market side of it. The researchers might look at the existing intellectual property rights, see whether the patents have been filed in the area which you work into, and slowly you move towards your next stage, like you build a proof of concept, then you develop a bench prototype, then laboratory prototype, and then basically we start thinking about now, we want to have a IP. Most of the time when the Indians look at the IP from the emotional point of view, they basically want to file an IP. The intention to file an IP is to protect their knowledge so somebody can take it. But if you look from the Westerner point, they look at the intellectual property from the property angle, that how I can exploit it. So what happens is maximum time when we start thinking about IP, we start thinking at the end cycle of our R&D cycle. But problem happens by that time that you reach it to the dead end. You have already invested a good amount of money, then time, the effort, and now you realize that this IP you have created, but there is no marketability of it. There is no taker of it. There is no buyer of it. Maybe the technology has shifted drastically from the domain which you are working, and now the complete market is, or the industries are working into a complete different domain. So this might happen. So we starting our problem statement, and that is the time where we actually start looking at the prior art, whether those activity which people are working, whether they have already worked or they have not worked, or this is a novel or not novel. So this is mostly the typical R&D cycle which many of you, though you are a startup, though you are a MSME, or though you are a research organization, we go through that. So we do get in a patent file, but the real challenge is not about a patent filing. The patent filing is not on a milestone. Basically, it's not on a destination, it's just on a milestone. So we need to see that the patent basically reach to the market, get translated into some kind of a product. Now, from the market point of view, if you look at it, the only patent cannot be sold largely, but the technology around that patent can be sold. That means that the patented technology need to be built up around some technology which can be actually sold to the market. But if you look from the same innovation point from your IP point of view, as I said, when you start with your ideation stage, that is where you start looking at your prior art. Prior art helps you to get an information whether your idea is novel or not novel. The landscaping helps you to do a technology trajectory where the technology is moving, which direction it is moving, who are filing, who are working into the technology. And I guess most of you are related to the 6G development, so it is more relevant to you people. The white space mapping helps you to basically identify the areas to be worked. When you move on to the next year level, you start working on to your idea, validating of your idea. That is where we start working on, or we should work on to our competitor analysis, who is basically working in these technologies. I mean, here I wanted to give one idea that we were doing a landscaping for the 5G technology, and you're surprised to know that we came to know the patents on 7G and 8Gs have been filed since 2016. The technologies which we are now using is 5G, let's say, but technology which we are going to work in the future has been already protected by someone in 2016. So it takes time for the patent or for invention to reach till the technology level side. The next stage when it comes, it's a basically we start looking at the market, and as we are talking about the commercialization, the IP filing is not only the requirement. Basically, we need to keep looking at the IP valuation, this whether our IPs are strategically planned, because not always a one single patent can actually be sold. We need to have a multiple patents around. We need to have a strategies around what to show, what to hide, because once you file your patent, it's going to be in a public domain. So the mobile phone itself is a best example. There's no one have a patent on a mobile phone per se, but the mobile phone device is a device having a thousands of patents where it actually had gone cross licensing. They have become a standard patents are there. So all those activities need to be done before we get into the market. So if you look from in your innovation journey from the IP point of view, as you move from problem to prototype to lab prototype to bench prototype, in the same manner, at the same stages, you need to move from IP cycle also from prior art to validations to FTOs, the competitor analysis. And once you get into the market, we need to continuously keep IP watch, keep doing your IP audit, looking at that if anybody is infringing your technologies or not, if anybody is using your technologies or not. So basically, patent, just filing a patent is not only the activity. We need to look at those patent, maintain those patent, keep watch onto our patent, and keep further developing those patents. So now the question is why many patents never reach to a market. And since this was a problem statement which we, as an IP cell, along with the MeitY, were working on, because we saw there are multiple schemes are run by different departments where they want to increase the patents getting filed in our country or patents getting filed outside our country. But having said that, we found that many patents are never reached to a market. So there may be a lack of validations because research driven without any real world demand may basically land up that not having any market value of it. The low technology readiness, because most of the time the R&D or the startup, the R&D organization works onto the basic research, and that need to be taken over by a further development team who can take it to the industry level. The weak industry connect, which is challenging from long time. The funding gaps are still there. Regulatory barriers are there, and limited commercialization supports being provided. Now, this is onto the larger scale. But if I look from the startup point of view, there are multiple still internal problems are there. So there are problem itself is the right problem statement is a problem, because identifying a problem statement which you want to work it, and when you reach to the last stage of it and you realize this market is not ready to accept those problems, so that becomes a challenge. So it's not a technological problem, it's maybe from the management point of view, it's maybe the strategic point of view. Many a times the startup feels that IP process itself is a liability because it's a too much of a work, too much of a paperwork are there. You need to go from a different window, one window to another window to find out, get the answers to your questions. you need a support during your filing, because there are a lot of questions you will come to know. Even how to draft my patent, how do I, what information actually I should disclose into my patent. So all those strategies definitely need an help. The I startup is the overall IP management. There is a question of a trust. Who to whom I can share this information, because this knowledge which I we are having, we are not open to share it. And on top of it, as an individual, I have a limit with to reach onto the global level. So these are from the startup point of view. And last 1.5 year, actually, we were interacting with the many startups, many MSMEs to find out what their problems are. I mean, we see the numbers of patents getting filed. Like this year, if you see the IPO's database numbers, you'll find that it's more than 1.4 lakhs patents have been filed, out of which around 44% are filed in by IT and electronics domain. So we are dominating the more than half percentage of patents getting filed in India. But still, these people are not able to either come to the filing stage, or they are getting filed it, but they are not reaching to the market. So this being a challenge for us, and we started studying the problem statements around us. We met many stakeholders around the country to understand and what solution we can actually provide. With that respect, basically, we built a concept, a program called as a IP Catalyst with the support of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Basically, we wanted to provide a comprehensive support to the startup. Like, we don't wanted to provide a grant, because the grant which will be generally in the form of a reimbursement. Most of the time, the startup or MSME, if they want to file their patent globally, the liability, the costs are very high, and they need to invest the money. And then most of the scheme are doing basically the reimbursement around that. So they need a IP facilitation, filing a support, complete support of it, international patent filing support, support for technology startup, the industry connect, and overall awareness from the capability or capacity building side, not in terms of what is patent from side, but it's from basically what you should do from the patent. So we actually developed a program called as an IP Catalyst. This the objective of our IP Catalyst is basically to give global IP protection, to help and support for the international as well as domestic patent filing across multiple jurisdictions, helping for a commercialization and technology transfer. So this is where we are going to provide a platform. There we are providing a platform where the R&D institute, the startup, the MSME, and the industry are coming together to host their technologies. The industry is coming to host their problem statement to the startup and research organization. Research organizations are building up their technologies on which the startup may take those technologies, because reinventing wheel, instead of reinventing a wheel, you can further develop into the product. So your development cycle itself will be reduced. The overall startup and innovation ecosystem by building the industry academia collaboration mode, and of course the awareness side. So these are basically the major objective of our basically these are objective of IP Catalyst side. So, what basically we are doing it here, we are giving a complete financial support to the startup MSME who wish to file their IP on a global level. And this financial support is not directly giving in the terms of a grant. It is basically we are giving a complete service. The startup or MSME has to come to us, come to our platform, submit here his idea, submit his invention disclosure form. Once he fills the form, we'll take care of everything till filing and till getting the grant. So we have the empaneled attorney firm who will be basically supporting and helping the startups to file the complete specification. They will draft it, your IDF, they will draft your patent document, they will submit it, they will basically, if there is any litigations happening, they will also address it. All the expenditure till grant will be incurred under this program. Under this, you can go into the multiple jurisdiction coverage. So, like US, You can go in US, European Patent Office, WIPO, or there are around 173 countries where you can go and file it. This program also focused on providing end-to-end legal support. So there are attorneys who will be filing through the grant and reducing the complexity for you. From the global competitiveness, we are trying to position the Indian innovations and into international market, into our platform where we are consolidating the development happening into the IT and electronics domain into a single platform, which is CIPA.in. You can visit that, and this will host the most of the innovations happening from research organizations, startup, MSME, and from the industry point of view. So CIPI is basically has a major four program. One is from the IP funding, as I mentioned. The facilitation will help you to basically have a counseling with you. You can discuss your problem statement with the people in CIPI. They will guide you about it. They will be in the industry connect. They will help you to uh, identify the industry by doing the technology landscaping, so you can identify whether you have a collaborators or a competitors. And the innovation exchange, where we are looking forward to instrument the exchange between technology exchange, or identifying the potential buyer for your technologies, which will be able to do the technology transfer. So the program one for the international patent filing, this is mostly for the startup and MSME. All startup which are registered under DIPP are eligible for this. We are providing around expenditure up to 20 lakh rupees for per invention. And let me highlight here that one innovator can file a 5 application in a year. So there is a limit of five. Within a 1 year you can go and file a 5 patent application, and you can go under multiple countries. The total expenditures are capped up to 20 lakh rupees. There are expert scrutinies will be done. The complete attorney support will be done, and the expenditure coverage under this will be done. So by this program, we are trying to address two major problems. One is the financial liabilities which startup has it. Second, the legal liabilities which mostly the startups are getting scared of, or they don't want to take it as, because they are focused onto their technology development or their bread and butter earning, and not onto the IP side of it. But we don't want to lose the IP is developed in India, so we are giving a complete support. So we are going to address their two major problems, from the finance side of it, and from the filing side of it. On the similar line, second program, this mostly focused for the research organization. Here we are giving a complete IPR support, and here not only the patent but copyright, trademark, all is being covered under this. This also have a complete patent support, and this is for the domestic as well as the international filing. Now, why we are bringing these two on the same platform? We wanted to basically bring out, and this is under consideration, that the invention or innovation which being developed under the R&D societies will be actually surface out here for startup to utilize it if societies are not taking it forward. So those patents will be taken up, given away to the startup for further development. So we can avoid the duplications by doing this. The third program what we have is basically taking this innovation from lab to market. So through your TRL journey, we are looking forward to help you till reach to the technology maturity level, or from the market readiness side. So we'll be giving you a guidance throughout each of your TRL stage. I mean, from early research to the full scale market adoption. So from prior art search to identifying your potential customer or potential buyer or potential industry, will be instrumenting your complete support into this. And we hope, and our intention is basically to help our startups to go globally. And the country where countries focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat and local to global. So I think this is an initiative which will support that vision and that mission also. So the complete support from the lab to market will be done under this. So this connecting with the industry, the IP catalyst is will be covered. pathway, the research to industry. Through there will be a matchmaking, mentoring, and a commercialization support. So right now, if you go to cipi.in, lot of societal technologies have been already hosted from the IP point of view, and those technologies are ready to be a matchmake from the technology transfer point of view, or from the licensing point of view, or cross licensing point of view, even for the collaborative R&D side of it. And from the industry side, it is for the from the open innovation side of it. So this industry matchmaking will help to connect researchers with the organization, the industry, or the corporate which are seeking the technological partnership. Support for technology transfer, like a structural framework for IP licensing, your agreements, the understanding the negotiation point, the valuation, assessment of your TRL level. All those will be actually will be doing it under this program. And apart from that, the startup mentoring and even they're helping for the pilot development will also be done. As you know that there are many COEs, there are 25 COEs in a different domains. MeitY is having it, which are being getting consolidated in this. So the IP side, the IP catalyst is there. From the piloting side, the testing side, there are multiple COEs which are coming onto this board to support this, and the industry from the commercial point of view. So, as a nutshell, basically the complete CIPIE or IP Catalyst is focused for the startup, which will be innovation driven solution, which can be a scalable product, MSME and the R&D societies. The platform is capable for a secure IP repository. We'll have a smart search. The IP analytical and the insights will be possible. The possible commercialization, converting IP into market ready products. Collaborations are possible under this. The product development and technology transfer will also be done under this. So before I come to a last slide, basically as we are from the 6G side and deep tech side of it, I wanted to highlight here a few things. The standard essential patents are far more important, and the French licensing, which can actually define the overall 6G market. We as an Indians are still a user of SAP, and we are not a creators yet. So that means we are still giving a royalty to the various countries. And I wanted to just highlight here that international patent filing, why we are helping it, because last year there were around more than 40,000 foreigners came to India to file an IP, and only 240 approximately the Indian companies went to file their IPs in the world. So the foreigners are coming here with the expectation that there is a market. So we are going there, but numbers are still less. So we are not making impact. The foreigners are taking the money from our country, but we are not able to do it. So we wanted to have an impact on that, and that is why the international patent we are supporting it. The same here, we are still the users from the SAP side, and we wanted to encourage and help even from the SAP, and we are there because apart from the filing, we'll be helping to work onto the standard essential patent, defining a strategy around working onto the legal side of it, presenting into the various standards department organizations. As AI and telecom is working and cross-domain patents are created, compound strategic value, and this we see in this domain more. We need to have then a global active role in next three GPP and international standard bodies. So I think from the IP side of it, in your journey of this, will be very much helpful. The IP catalyst will be very much helpful. I will urge to the startup, the researchers, the academias, the MSMEs, basically the present should actually take a use of it, should actually exploit these services and make use for themselves. So, just to conclude, as I said, that your research has to be towards a nation impact. So, IP should not remain only as a legal document. It should become our business asset and strategic tool. So, for the catalyst and the national innovation. So, as foreigners always look at it IP as in a property. I think we should start also looking at IP as in a property and start exploiting that. And for that, we at C-DAC Pune, the IP cell and the complete IP Catalyst program, which being supported by MeitY, is available to be used, and you can definitely exploit this. The CIPI is already there. You can visit the CIPI site, register yourself there. You can host your idea there. My team will help you out to basically do a prior art search, and if you look at it, you can go directly from there. You can apply for patent, and once you submit your required documents onto that, the attorneys will take care of your patent filing. The expenditure will be taken care by them. If there is any question from the technology side, they will come back to you. Otherwise, the whole acquiring a patent will be done without your intervention. The owner of this patent will be you. Assignee will be you. We will be only being a catalyst. Our intention is basically to not only to increase the number of patents getting filed, but our intention is basically to file the quality patent which can be actually exploited and which can help for going from a local to global. Thank you.
So really, thank you. I think we have. I realize that it's more than whatever I was expecting, and we will have certain questions after Saranya's presentation, because how can you bring other ecosystem partners also like C-DOT, Bharat 6G Alliance, TSDSI, or DOT in
Right.
helping and making this up to commercializations. And now let
Right.
me welcome Saranya again, and over to you now. You make your presentation, and after the presentation, then Dr. Brajesh Mishra will be your moderator for question and answer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, very much.
Yeah. Thank you, 6G Alliance team and Patak sir for giving me an opportunity in this session. Today, I'll be taking on the topic a role of intellectual property frameworks in supporting innovation and commercialization. So, my discussion will be focusing on how various IP frameworks such as prior art search, patentability assessment, IP auditing, FTOs, technology landscaping, support startups, MSMEs, research organizations, grantee organizations, institutions throughout their innovation life cycles. So, in today's rapidly evolving innovation ecosystem, technology development is no longer limited to invention alone. Innovation becomes meaningful only when it can be protected, managed, commercialized, and successfully transferred to the society and the industry. This is where the IP frameworks plays a strategic role. Traditionally, patents and IPs are considered as a legal protective mechanism. However, in modern innovation system, IP tools have evolved into a strategic decision support mechanism. That means that they guide innovators from the earliest stage of innovations, earliest stage of ideation to the product development, like market entry, technology transfer, licensing, investment attraction, and commercialization. So this session sorry, I couldn't be able to change the slides. Patak sir?
Let me again see
Yes,
slides.
yes.
Can you do now?
No, sir.
Just 1 minute. You are already. You are presenter. Please. Wait.
The slide. Shall I present, sir?
Yeah, you can. You are presenter.
Yeah. Okay. So, this session, this build upon the broader vision of IP support innovation decisions at every stages of technology life cycle. So, to begin with, let us understand why IP frameworks becoming more important in today's innovation ecosystem. So, every day, as Parimal sir mentioned, every day thousands of patents are filing globally. That
Are
means
you able to change your presentation?
no, sir. I'm
Why
trying it.
so?
I
No, you
don't
just
know.
see there is a slide one slider. If not, I
Yes,
will do for you.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now it's moving, sir. ठीक है, thank you.
please do.
So, to begin with, let's understand the why IP tools are matters in today's innovation ecosystem. So, as Sir's mentioned, this Indian Patent Office published that there is more than 1,40,000 patents were filed. That means every day globally thousands of patents were filing, and technologies are evolving rapidly. Markets are becoming highly competitive, and product life cycles are shrinking. So in such a crucial environment, it is very difficult for startups or MSMEs or organizations to invest blindly in the R&D development without the proper IP assessment. So if we did not execute the IP assessment properly, it may there is a chance of occurring research duplications, also wasting of our resources into non-patentable ideas. Also, there is a chance of infringing. Organization may infringe others' third parties' rights, and commercialization may even fail without due to the weak IP positioning. Therefore, we can say that the IP tools, IP frameworks help innovators make informed and strategic and help them to make a commercial viable decisions throughout the innovation life cycle. So if we observe the innovation to commercialization journey, we can see that there are several stages. That means the first stage, we can say ideation stage. In the ideation stage, key question comes to the innovator's mind is like whether my invention is ideal, novel or not. So here the prior art search tool come into the picture. The prior art search gives you the clear idea of whether our invention is novel or not. Next, in the R&D and prototype stage, that means the invention stage, the key question arrives into innovator's mind is like whether my invention is patentable or not. So patentability assessment help you to determine whether your invention is properly patented and meeting the legal criteria that required for the as per the Indian Patent Act or not. And in the product development stage, this FTO come into picture. Like this FTO help us to analyze, determines whether there's a the commercialization of my particular invention will infringe the third party rights or not. And if we considering the commercialization part, IP auditing help us to analyze whether which IP do I own, which IP do I need to manage. And technology landscaping also come into picture in the commercialization stage, which help us to identify what are the technology trends, what are the technology gaps. So altogether, we can say that these tools form a comprehensive framework for technology management and the commercialization. Now, first and perhaps the most important IP tool is the prior art search. I hope we all know that what is prior art. Prior art refers to the existing available knowledge available to related to the invention before the filing date of the patent application. So it includes existing patents, published applications, literature surveys, conference publications, products already in the public domains, online disclosures. So primary objective of conducting a prior art search is to identify whether our invention is novel. It help the benefits multiple stakeholders also. For startups and MSMEs, it avoid reinventing on the existing solution and help to optimize the R&D investments. For researchers and academic institution, we can say that it helps identifying the research gaps and areas where the meaningful innovations can occur. And for innovators and incubation cells, it help to guide innovators toward commercially relevant and patentable research directions. So prior art search is always act as a powerful tool in several ways. As I mentioned earlier, it helps to reduce the research duplications. It helps to prevent the investment into the already existing solutions. It enhances the innovation qualities, and it also helps in the patent drafting by analyzing the novelty and inventive step there. It helps to analyze to help to improve the patent drafting, and also give a broader idea of the competitiveness, like who are all the current players in that area, what are the emerging technologies and all. So now moving forward, the next important tool, IP framework, is the patentability assessment. We all know that every invention is not patentable. A patentability assessment evaluate whether an invention satisfies the legal criteria required for the patent in application as per the Indian Patent Act. So the legal criteria include the novelty. That means it assesses whether the invention is novel or not. Inventive step, that means whether it having the technological advancement when compared to the existing prior arts. Industrial applicability and the patent eligible subject matter, that mentioned in the section 3 of the Indian Patent Act 1970. So conducting the patentability assessment is very critical because it prevents patent filings and saves substantial time and resources. For filing a patent without assessing the patentability often leads to the rejection, unnecessary expenditure, and weak commercialization prospects. In other words, we can say that the strong patentability assessment strengthens the technology valuation, investor confidence, licensing potential, and commercialization readiness. So this patentability assessment tool is also plays a critical role in decision making for the various stakeholders. It helps startups and MSME in making a stronger IP-backed business and technology differentiation. For researchers, it improves the quality of patent applications from their side, and for the investors, it helps to help increase the confidence regarding the defensibility of the technology. And for the industry, it helps, it simplifies the licensing and acquisition decisions. Therefore, we can say that this patent assessment serves as a bridge between innovation and commercial viability. Next, moving forward to the next important tool is the freedom to operate search. While patentability assessment, we ask ourselves like whether the invention is patentable or not. But while conducting the FTO search, the question arises is like, can this product be commercially used without infringing the someone else patent rights? So FTO always assess whether the product or a process or a technology can be commercially manufactured, used, sold, imported, or exported without infringing any third party's patent rights. A company may own a patent or for its invention, still infringe. There's a chance of infringing another active patent already in the market. So failure to conduct the FTO may result in patent infringement litigations, injunctions preventing product sales, financial damages, reputational losses, etc. So, this FTO always plays a critical role to understand the commercialization risk. So it helped to reduce the commercialization risk. So we always suggest, before investing heavily in a manufacturing, product launch or licensing or market expansion, organizations should ensure that their technology does not conflict with the active patents in the target market. So in this scenario, I can quote a case law between Ericsson and Lava International in March 2024 happened in Delhi High Court. So this Ericsson was alleged that this Lava International was using their technology related to telecommunication like 2G, 3G, and 4G without their permission, without obtaining any licensing approaches. So the court immediately granted the relief in favor of Ericsson and rewarded damages for approximately INR 2.44 billions. So this case demonstrates the growing significance of FTO. That means if the Lava International in right time, if they conducted the FTO as a freedom to operate search, they may identify the Ericsson's SAP portfolios, accessing license, how to access the licensing obligations, how to negotiate appropriate agreements before commercializations and all. So always the FTO aims to provide helps to reduce the commercialization risk. So this acts as a commercialization safety mechanism. Now I move forwarding to the next very important framework is the IP auditing. So IP auditing help is a tool to identify the business assets of an organization. So it assesses what IP your business owns. It assesses what are the protecting mechanism we can put in place, and it also helps to understand the value of that IP. So many organization is having a lot of hidden IP assets like softwares, algorithms, databases, technical know-hows, industrial designs, etc. So, however, these IP assets are remain under-documented, unprotected, and underutilized. So, IP auditing come here help us to uncover these hidden assets. It identifies. It identifies various property, valuable IP property across these hidden assets like software, research outputs, and brand assets. It also clarifies the ownership issues involving between the inventors, employees, collaborators, and all. Also, it is for startups and research organizations, documented IP portfolios always significantly improve the credibility during the investor pitching and partnership discussions. Therefore, we can say that the IP auditing, the framework, transforms the scattered innovation outputs into the structured strategic assets. So now moving forward to the next important IP tool, IP framework as a technology landscape analysis. So technology landscaping provides is the important strategic tool for in commercialization. This help us to this is a data driven study analysis of a patent filing, scientific publications, innovation trends, the who are all the competitors, what are the geographical developments across the technologies, emerging technologies, and all. Also, it helps organizations to identify where the future technology or future opportunities exist, what are the unexplored areas, wide spacing, and which are the key players in that domain. So this process, generally what we are doing is we will collect the data from various patent databases, scientific literatures, market reports, publications, then technology reports, and we compile it, we analyzing it to identify the filing trends, regional innovation strength, the key players, leading companies, active, who are all the active inventors, and all. So this for policymakers, universities, and startups, landscape analysis reports provides an evidence-based innovation planning for their technologies. So now coming Okay. Now let's discuss about how this IP tool specifically empowers the startups, MSME, research organizations through the IPs. For as I already discussed that the startups and MSMEs, for startups and MSMEs, this IP tool empowers their innovations, validating the innovations, investor readiness. It helps for patients and for the startups for this one academia research and research institutions. It help to help for strategic translational research, technology transfer, and industry collaborations. So we can say that in general we can say that IP frameworks facilitates the transition by enabling stronger patent portfolios, licensing opportunities, and industry engagements. Now let us discuss to the way forward in building an IP-enabled innovation ecosystem. So I found the first and foremost first requirement is the strengthening the IP awareness by conducting this kind of capacity building programs across the institutions and startups. Also, as Parimal sir mentioned, IP should begin at the ideation stage, not on the post-development stage, in order to save the multiple resources of ours. And another point is like there should be the access in there should be an access to the IP tools in the affordable for everyone. Also, leveraging the sub platforms like IP Catalyst which can play a transformative role in accelerating the technology commercialization and innovation driven economic growth. So to conclude, effective innovations is not only about creating a technology, it is about creating a technology that is protectable, deployable, and commercially sustainable and capable of generating a social impact. Thank you. Thank you, Patak sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Saranya, and thank you, Parimal ji. Now let me thank you, Mr. Jayavardhan Tiwari, scientist from MeitY. Sir, can you also on your camera if possible? And I request audience to ask the question in the chat window, public chat. There is a public chat. Welcome, sir. So we have already gone through the Parimal, and we have noted that there is a international component, there is a domestic component, startup, MSMEs as well as academia is covered, and there is something some eco development. So the first question from my side will be, Dr. Brajesh Misra, would you also be like? So, C-DAC or MeitY, other institutions like C-DOT or other government department of telecommunications, or suppose it's Bharat. Yeah, so let's welcome Professor David also here. So, sir, Mr. Jayavardhan Tiwari Sahab is the in charge for this work in Ministry of Electronics and IT. So, I was present during the IP Catalyst launch, and that's why I thought that let's our ecosystem. So, please uh, tell us that how can our startups, academia, industry, what is their starting point? Should they go to the website CIPIE, or they have to wait, and what is the spelled here? Because then only they will join accordingly.
Um, okay, sir. I will answer this question. As you asked, like, sir, what stage they can join the CIPIE on the platform? There are two different stages basically they can join into. One is if they are going to start work on any problem which they are going to address. So, if they want to go from the novelty side or even filing their IP on the international level, they can jump into this platform as in a startup. As I mentioned, the only condition is that they have to be a DIPP certified startup. They should have that number, and another condition is that the 51% shareholder should be from India. So these are the two conditions to be a part of going for an international patent filing. But for the prior art search and all that, they can directly come into it. We can help to give them a novelty the report regarding their novelty side of it. Second is basically those who have the already they have a patent and they are looking forward to host onto a platform for further exchange. Then they can also join onto this platform. They can host their IPs, give the complete detail of that IP, and that will be a part of a IP pool, and it will be basically demonstrated on a various level, various platform, all those IPs, so they can benefited of that also. Third, this organization like you can be a part of it as one of the supporter of the ecosystem, because all these research organizations are coming together to basically see that the any innovations can reach to a market or get developed, so it can be handed over from one person to another. So if a R&D is developing something, we are looking forward that if a startup who wants to take it market, who is working on to applied research or application side of it, who can take that IP and start building onto the further product, or maybe the industry to go on to the industry level production build. So we are looking forward to all those ecosystem to come together. So the department like you can be definitely a part of it, being from the supportive side of it. The startup can come from at the problem statement level. If a startup already have their ideas patented, they can come from the hosting their IP. So at any stage, you can be a part of this movement, IP Catalyst or CIPI.
Thank you. Brajesh, would you like to ask questions?
Yes, sir. Sir, before I do that, I would like to read the question posed by Manish Chaudhary from C-DAC. May I, sir? Hello.
Yes. Now you can do anything.
Yeah. So,
You can.
yeah, question from Manish is, what are the tools and technique used for IP valuation? Perhaps this question relates to Miss Saranya. Please, Saranya, can you share your views? What are the tools and technique used for IP valuation?
Sir, actually, first we used IP auditing as a this is the common tool we used for the for this in case of valuations, and the technique we will use like the so, actually I hope we are all aware about there are different approaches for the IP valuations related like income approaches, market approaches, cost approaches. So in that cases based on the scenario we are using it, and IP auditing is the one of the main tool we are using for the IP valuations.
I would like to add a few more things here.
Yes, sir.
There is no tool as such which will
Huh.
basically the major I mean the patent valuation. But there are different factors, like there is the legal factor side of it. What is the patent strength, the scope, enforceability, validity, the geographical coverage of the patent, the remaining term of the patent. So from the legal factor plays a role. From the technology point, like technology uniqueness, and the innovation stage, the stage of development, which stage you are into. You are into a prototype or into a commercialization side of it. I mean, here I just want to give you one small example that we had a startup who was working onto a face recognition, where he was developing a tool that a network a group of people, when they go out, they share a photograph with and click a photograph with a better camera, but the owner does not share the photograph. So he wanted to have a solution where, without knowing, without taking permission or without asking a permission, the photograph need to be sent to the other person's this thing. So he will use the face recognition and directly it will go to them. When it was presented at the idea stage, the valuation was in few lakhs. But when he started developing that application and start working onto a prototype, the valuation increases more in towards a little crores of it. And as he started doing a piloting of it and having, let's say, around 5,000 users, the valuation suddenly increases. So valuations are depends on to the many of factors of it. Even from the economic point, the revenue potential, the cost, then risk is there, the existing and potential license agreement, what type of agreements are there, from strategic point, the historical data point. So there are multiple factors which has an impact onto that. I hope I have answered the question.
Thanks a lot for the insights. I am also seeing hand raised by Anjali. Anjali Khanna, you have please.
Yes, sir. So, thank you so much, sir. I would like to, first of all, thank Mr. Parimal and Ms. Saranya. You have given a very, very good and very informative presentation. I'm sure it will help a lot of startups in understanding a lot of basics, which probably, there's lack of awareness. So I have two questions. First is to Mr. Parimal. You were mentioning about certain TRL levels that you help in reaching from TRL 3 up to TRL 9. I would just like to ask you about what is the method and what steps do you follow in terms of patents for in helping the startups from reaching TRL 3 to TRL 9? And second, I have a query, which is a generic query regarding patent pooling. So we had come up with the concept of a sovereign patent fund, and patent pooling is a very very important thing which a lot of countries are doing, including India, not India, USA and China, Japan. So patent pool essentially helps you into it gives you strength as a nation and helps in better when you are sitting on the table. It will help in a better bargaining position. So what are your plans on that? So these are my two queries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See, right now, let me answer your first query. We are actually working on this complete patent pooling from. Currently, our focus is basically pooling from our societies, the R&D societies under the MeitY. Apart from that, those startup which are working under MeitY are we are looking forward to do it from them side, and we are trying looking forward to host this pooling onto our platform onto it, so that the activity is already started onto it right now. The societal IP has been hosted and put onto those cipi.in. You can visit and see it. So those IP now we are analyzing it. We are categorizing those IPs, and looking at those IPs, their stages, their the lifespan. We are categorizing it, and we are doing a landscaping around it to understand where exactly we are in, where exactly we have to go, and to whom actually further we can take it forward, and we can pitch those activities. So right now we are we're working on that, and the societies have been consolidated. As you rightly said, that all this effort of CIPIE is not only to help from the patent filing of it, or providing or taking care of the expenditure, but it's basically consolidating those all those IPs which been getting generated in IT and electronics, and those departments or societies or institutions or the startup which we are close to, or which we are working with, at least those IPs can be hosted onto it, and eventually from the complete IT and electronics. Because if you see the numbers, more than 44% are being filed from IT and electronics domain in India. So that we are looking forward to it. Regarding your first question, right now, if you see from the TRL level side of it, we are trying to help from the assessment point of it. We are consolidating the various the services provided and hosted by even MeitY. As I said, there are more than 25 COEs are there, who are supporting all this product to further to go to the next level of it. There are test beds have been lined up. We come from the IP side of it, so we are helping them from the IP filing side of it. So till they reach to a TRL level around 3 to 4, we have already filed their patents. And when they go for the next level, we have consolidated the other COEs hosted by MeitY, being a part of this activity. So once we reach there, they can actually take use of it. Uh, Even at level 5 to 6, we are looking forward, if they are having a good business revenue at the international level, so we are looking to go help them to go on to international level. And if required, the building even the patent family around their existing innovation, because sometimes this kind of a strategy is needed if they are looking to go into the market, and if they have a quality innovation, so we'll look forward to help and strategize their patents. So these are the two things we are looking forward to it. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you very much.
next
Okay.
question is from Pamela Kumar, madam. Uh, Her question is: we are rolling out a course on innovation and patents as a part of BTech MTech curriculum. How can we incorporate IP Catalyst into this course?
Okay, we can. I mean, IP Catalyst is a program. Okay, IP Catalyst is a program which has a various components of it. If you are looking forward from the skill sets from IP Catalyst, from people from IP Catalyst to help you into your course curriculum, we can definitely look forward to come and have a guest lectures or something like that. But from the program side of it, because it's going to be a beneficiary for the startup more, because it's from the application side of it. So from theoretical side of it, maybe we can have some presentations around it. But from applicability side, if you have an incubation center and if you have a startup, I think that it will be more applicable there.
I see. But as a part of the curriculum, we are trying to, so this course which we are conceiving is like innovation and patents. So we want the students to work on some innovative idea
Hmm.
for a particular, solving a particular problem domain, and then gradually groom them into actually creating a patent application, or even take that to a patent filing process. So we want to
Okay.
extend over four
Okay.
semesters and take them
Right.
from phase to phase. So
Okay.
in that, if we can incorporate this as a
So
resource which they can use, we are trying to also build a kind of an AI, agentic AI, through which we administer the course. So
in this, ma'am, I think if your vision is basically to give them a problem statement, I mean, if you want to stimulate from the innovator's point of view, I think we can help you from the novelty, identifying, doing the prior art search, identifying the novelty of the concept. So that will be a real time base. You can actually come to know that their ideas are novel or not novel. You can do that. Regarding filing of patent and all that, that we can actually explore in the next stage, because right now we have a limitation that this activity is specifically for the startup, and those registered startup. But I think in the initial stage we can definitely help you from the novelty side of it. We can help them from the how to go ahead and file the patent. If they are looking for filing a domestic patent, believe me, the cost is not very high. It's the official fees are everything are very less, so they themselves can look forward to do that. We can help you from the little bit from the drafting side of it, how to draft their invention, how to draft the patent document and all that. That definitely we can help you and assist you the students who wants to do your course.
okay, thank you.
One thing I would like to add here, ma'am. Uh, the MeitY has been working towards this direction for last couple of years, and a lot of things have been achieved. We started from Tide 2.0, then we brought in incubated, couple of startups, and indeed a lot of startups. And there are many schemes which provide supports, which are centered to startups and promoting these innovation and IPR activities. So what we can do as part of the curriculum, we can prepare some material which can be given to students also. So that, like, suppose MTech students uh, must be aware about what are the existing provisions, existing schemes, which he can leverage if he step into the entrepreneurship. So those things we can also extend support in terms of providing an overview of what are the available schemes, provisions, and where they can fit themselves. So this is something
Great.
probably, as Parimal ji has rightly said, that the skill set as well as the entire landscape of what government of India does, especially MeitY in electronics and IT domain. What are the possibilities?
That will be
So
excellent.
So innovation side, if you look at, we have the R&D programs almost in all verticals: microelectronics, nanoelectronics, medical electronics, and then intelligent transport system designs. So likewise in cybersecurity, in IT we have the AI mission. So we can actually, we can discuss it more in detail, and then from innovation to IPR, how we are supporting deep tech company, let's say startup or somebody wants to step into this domain. So from start to finish. So what are the various things available across the spectrum? So that is something can be, I feel, a good idea for uh, having this thing into
So
the.
that will be a good guest lecture as a part every time we kick off. every semester or every other semester when we do a kickoff and invite new registrations. At that time, we can bring this as a guest lecture. But more, I wanted IP Catalyst, I felt was a more hands on tool which we can incorporate into which the students can register. And after they've reached a certain point, and that's where we can agree with IP Catalyst, that after they have done some work and reached a certain point, at that point, they can utilize IP Catalyst. So
Ma'am, I would like to know from which academic institutions
so we
you
are incubating this in Triple IT Surat.
triple IT student. Okay.
Yes, you want to incubate it there, and once we have some good structure, then we'll Triple IT Surat and Triple IT Gandhi and IIT Gandhinagar, both of
Okay.
them are involved in this.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Pamela madam. Another question is from Saurabh. Does CIPIE also provide access to prior art tools as well as plagiarism tools? So,
Yes, there is no. I mean, prior. There is no prior art tool because the process of prior art is little critical. I mean, what you have to do is basically you have to understand the invention, identify the keywords, then you have to go through a patent literature. That means the patents across the globe, not only in India, because although the patent is a geographical and territorial, but still, if any invention is patent is filed in US, still you will lose the novelty. And then we need to go through the non-patent literature also. That means even simple using search engine and seeing whether anybody has talked in any conference, any paper has been presented, is there any blog written onto the website, is there any videos uploaded in this regard. So we do both the search, patented search and non-patent literature search. So there is no combined tool as such. It's still being done by the human. So yeah, we can help you to do a prior art search for this. Plagiarisms tools, we are not having it and not hosting it because there's going to be a specific purpose. Because for the text you have a different tool, for images you have a different method to do it. So right now there are no tools yet, but there are people who can help you from the novelty side of it, and there are people who can help you from the plagiarism side of it.
thanks a lot, sir. Uh, Parimal sir means Parimal, Saranya, uh, means all you have responded so nicely to all the queries raised by the participant. And I have no words to how to I don't know how to appreciate the initiative which MeitY and C-DAC and other institutions of MeitY has taken to promote R&D ecosystem and our, strengthened IPR in our country. Uh, so I think that's all. Pathak, over to Pathak sir.
Yeah, yeah. So let me request Astha and our team like Swapnil, Faisal, they are all they are working for making this a success to ask to you. And thank you, Javardhan Sahab. And I think I see my friend SK Marwa there. So we both have been promoting the product development. I mean, the last point, not the first point. So I can see that we are starting from the innovations to product. And otherwise, we have whole life we have been just doing the product. That how can I put the custom
Good
duty? I can.
afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Rajeshi and everybody.
Yeah. So Marwa, yeah, please, can you
Yeah,
make your mic on?
yeah, my mic is on. Can you hear me?
I am referring photos,
Okay, one
video.
second.
So
Actually,
those who
I'm.
are not aware of, Sudhir Marwa has been 89 batch officer, and he has been the instrumental in most of the R&D and other schemes within the Ministry of Electronics and IT. So that's he has been instrumental in most of those schemes. And in fact, I have been also associated with the MeitY very closer when I was in DOT. So I would like to thank you. And Astha, would you like to say and now take over?
Yes, sir.
Astha?
My voice is audible, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So thank you, Patrick, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And as we draw this insightful session to a close, it is my honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on behalf of Bharat 6G Alliance. Today's webinar truly embodied its theme, transforming research into innovation into products, and products into national impact. And I believe each one of us is leaving with a deeper understanding of how that transformation actually happens. We owe a great depth of gratitude to our speakers, Mr. Parimal and Ms. Saranya, for the comprehensive and lucid walkthrough of the topic IP Catalyst scheme. And both of you have you have brought remarkable clarity to what can often feel like a complex journey from earlier stages of research through TRL levels and all the ways to commercialization and product deployment. And you have helped us in making IP feel less like a legal maze and more like a strategic asset. So we thank you sincerely for your time, expertise, and passion for bridging this gap between the research and real world impact. I would like to thank our chairman, Professor David Kolpillai, Dr. Brajesh Mishra, sir, and our organizing team, Swapnil and Shah Faisal, for organizing this wonderful event. And to every participant who has joined us today, your presence and engagement are what give events like these their purpose. We hope today's conversation sparked ideas that will find their way into patents, products, and impact. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and we will be just sharing your presentation if you don't any problem with all the attendees here, those who have registered. I could not upload the registered this one. So if you permit, then those who have already, participated, I will be just sharing the copy of presentation. And this is available on YouTube channel of Bharat 6G Alliance. So live also one can see at time, and one can even link it in their LinkedIn accounts. And thank you all, and thank you special to Mr. Jayavardhan, to whom I requested that please join, and my other colleagues. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
sir,
you.
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
congratulations for conducting successfully the session, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you
Bharat.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.